Hey guys, it's Misty and I am back with our third mindset shift tip. So we're going over my top 10 superpowered mindset shifts that are in this book, my book, The Athlete Mental Health Playbook. Number one is mental health is a strength. Again, not a weakness, something that we often think about. Number two is rest is a discipline. And number three that we're going to go over right now today is self-talk is a major key in mental wellness. So before we get into that, I'm going to read you a couple of the quotes that I have here in this chapter. Number one is from Louise Hay. She said, "Remember, you have been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens." And then this other one from Ben Gordon, who was an NBA player. "The goal doesn't have to be perfection. It can just be peace and acceptance with yourself." By the way, if you haven't read his Players Tribune article from a couple years ago, go back and read it. Really powerful stuff on mental health. So self-talk is something that it's that we are constantly in the process of, right? You're probably talking to yourself right now because you're processing information at all times. And it's really easy to be like, I'm not good at that. I need to do better, and just criticizing and criticizing and criticizing. But all that's doing is creating this resistance within yourself and putting in some bad energy there because you're not really being friends with yourself, right? So one thing that you can do around that is just try and catch yourself and talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend, right? Be your own friend. We talk about this a lot, and this is like a super bad habit that a lot of us have, myself included. The things that we think we would never say to our friend about ourselves, we would never say to our friends, right? Or let anybody say about our friends, but all day long in our head, we're criticizing ourselves, right? It's a really common thing. So one thing that you can do, and again, something I'm working on myself, is be a little bit more aware of that. Start working on a self-compassion routine where you can do something like a metta meditation, which is a short meditation that can help you bring self-compassion and awareness into your existence. So it's things like, may I be happy? May I be peaceful? May I live free of worries? May I, have success? The different things that, those are not the exact ones, but there's a whole bunch of ones that go into that you can say, right? It's really a beautiful process of just extending self-compassion and love to yourself. And then that starts to become more of a habit because you're like, oh, I'm being nice to myself right now, right? And so you start to catch yourself when you're not being nice and be like, wait, that wasn't nice. Let me reframe that and tell myself something different, right? So those are keys that help you in your total mental health and wellness, because it doesn't allow you to kind of go down those rabbit holes of thinking, I'm the worst, I'm never going to be good at this, no one's ever going to like me, my life is destined for problems, all the different things that can go on in your mind. I have bad karma, I just have bad luck, it's blah, 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 right? So before you go down those rabbit holes, catch yourself and say, you know what, in this moment, actually, I hear what I'm saying and I understand. I'm going to give myself grace for being frustrated. But what I am going to do also is grant myself some self-compassion, right? Another way to do this is just to talk to your inner child. Might sound kind of silly, but there's a lot of therapeutic benefits of doing this. If you have childhood trauma, by the way, that you have not processed, please don't do this by yourself. Do this with a mental health professional, because I don't want you to cause more problems for yourself by trying to self-address something that you really need the help of a professional with. But talk to yourself. Hey, you know what? Sometimes I'll say, hey, little Misty, how are you today? You're feeling stressed and you're feeling frustrated. Tell me more about that, right? And it sounds ridiculous. I'm having a conversation back and forth with yourself, but this is something that someone recently taught me, my spiritual coach, and it's helping me catch this inner dialogue and feel safer within myself and have more positive talk. So anyways, that's what our mindset shift number 3 about is. If it's all about learning how to give yourself more grace and watch yourself talk and build yourself up instead of beating yourself down. So anyways, that was it. I hope to see you guys again. We'll be back with video number 4 soon. And I hope you're doing well. Love and light to you. See you soon.